I have not worked on a canvas in a really long time. Months and months and months. So for that reason, I am pulling one out to do work on it this weekend. I have an 11 by 14 canvas panel. I'm working vertically instead of horizontally because of something I'm wanting to do. I have a kind of an idea on the main focal image on what I want to use here, but for right now I'm just putting the background together. So I have my favorite things out that I'm going to collage with. I have the Tim Holtz tissue paper in the Terminology. I have music paper and French text. So I'm just going to tear this and start collaging it with, of course, my favorite medium, Collage. And there is no, okay, that's a new bottle. Where's my other one? And of course, there is nothing to wrap around, so I don't have to worry about wrapping anything around like you do on a regular canvas. Finishing those edges off. So I'm just gonna work at adhering these down, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I kind of avoided the middle area because I knew this was where I was going to put my focal point, which is going to be a paper doll. This is paper doll is going to be kind of inspired, not kind of, it is inspired by Misty Mon, M-A-W-N, Mon, Misty Mon. She wrote a book called Unfurling, and in it she uses paper dolls. So I am going to do a collage paper doll. I cut this head out of a magazine, so I'm going to use that as the head. And then I liked the way this arm was, and I'm going to use the arm in this as well. And I'm making the dress for my paper doll using the Nature Garden collection by Prima. It's a Jody Lee design. Older stack. This is one of those really small 6x6 stacks that I got from Hobby Lobby. So I am going to just tear a strip from a bunch of these papers so that it coordinates. And I'm going to make a dress. Now, I am going to just kind of tear some strips. Where's my ruler? Use a straight edge metal roller and just start tearing some strips. It's going to be kind of hard to do because this is cardstock, but I want to keep my sheet intact. Oh, I tore off two. That's why it was so hard. Credola. But yeah, I kind of wanted to keep my sheets intact in my pad here, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Of course, I'm going to try to just grab one of these this time. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then connect them, and then I'll be back and show you how I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so what I did is I laid out my strips with the way I thought I was going to want them patterned for this paper doll dress. And because then I have to take into account, I think I'm going to put some lace at the bottom of this and make room for the head here. And then I may do some kind of hat or something at the top. So that's the first thing I wanted to do, is just make sure that I had enough strips, because if I did all this and I needed to take a strip off because it was too big or too long, or you know, add another couple because it was too short, that's how I just kind of gauge this, since I'm just doing this all free form. There's no pattern or anything. And then once I had that laid out, I just came on the back, flipped everything over, laid it out again, and then just ran Scotch tape down the center of this. And I did like 3 strips just so it would keep it together pretty good. Because now what I'm going to do is draw and I'm just going to use a pencil, and I'm just going to draw a, you know, just kind of a dress pattern here. And like I said, there is no, but you want to kind of get the proportions a little correct, so And I'm going to want the skirt part to be just a little bit bigger. So I have to allow for enough. So I'm going to kind of just come down and kind of taper in the waist. I think I had those birds in the wrong spot. That should have been, because now I'm cutting into my birds. I think I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to flip it over. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just kind of, you know, tracing my dress pattern out of this, but I'm also trying to figure out how it's going to be placed. And normally I'd be fiddling with this off camera, but when I'm not recording, I mean, but since I'm kind of trying to go over my process. Okay, so come down. Like so. And then flare out for the skirt part. Like so. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my craft scissors here, and then I'm going to cut on the inside of that pencil line so I don't have to worry about erasing anything. Do some erasing there because I didn't want it to come in that closely. I know I'm just talking gibberish right now. You're not understanding anything I'm saying because I'm talking to myself. Okay, get that out of the way, move my head. Alright, so basically then you wind up with like a little dress pattern. So, this is where I'm at right now. So I'm going to leave a little bit of room down at the bottom to add some lace. Make sure everything's lined up here. And yeah, so that looks pretty good so far. Okay. So that's where I'm at. Okay. I found this little air dry clay piece that I had made, and it's kind of warped. I don't know if you can see that. Well, you can't. But anyway, it'll work for this purpose anyway. So what I'm doing is I'm going to use this as kind of like a headpiece for my little paper doll here. So I'm going to have a headpiece there, and then I'm going to do some further stuff to that. But right now what I'm doing is I'm laying everything out because I want to add some texture using this Finnabair doily. And I need to know where everything's going to be laid out because I don't want to put texture anywhere where that's going to happen. Otherwise, I won't be able to collage my piece down very easily. So I'm going to use heavy gel to embed all this. So I want to make sure I don't have any texture in those spots so that when I go, because I want to have my texture on first and then I'm going to spray this all down with all my colors. Okay, now the only other thing that I want to do here is I want to put like little wings on here coming out for arms. So I'm going to use some archival ink on this just foam, cheapy foam stamp that I got, I think for Big Lots. And I'm putting it onto 95-pound watercolor paper because what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to color that in, I think using Twink's watercolors. See how vibrant that is? And for that reason, I wanted to use watercolor paper instead of anything else. And then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to fussy cut this. And I'm not going to make you guys watch me do that, and I'll be back. You know what, I did forget to mention that I had taken this to my, after I got this cut out, I did take it to my sewing machine. I don't know if you can see the stitch lines because it is a off-white thread. But I did use a zigzag stitch and stitch all the way around this. You can see it better there. So that it does connect all the pieces. And then I took just this lace and I did do a straight stitch across that. I got it crooked too, but you know, yeah, I don't really care. I wasn't going to take the stitches out and redo it. So it's just going to be like that. Okay, so I did get my wings cut out and I've got them set down. Again, I'm going to color them, but for right now it's just there so that I don't put this texture anywhere. So I just have some Liquitex modeling paste out. Do have my Finnabair stencil, and I'm just gonna start putting some texture in. Then after this dries, I am going to just spray it with all kinds of different sprays. Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to finish going around my canvas doing this and I'll be back. Okay, so what I've done so far is I have painted my wings. I used Twinks on that and then I outlined it in black paint. Just made it really dark. And then for my clay piece, I took some sprays and just to kind of match my colors in here, and then I took a gold leafing pen and went around the edge of this. So I edged it with a gold leaf, and then I also brought that into the pattern at the top, and then set some flat back crystals in there. So that's her little headpiece once that's good to go. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. Now I'm taking this doily stamp and I'm going to use some black archival ink and just add some more texture. Only I'm going to try to do a better job than that. You can't even tell what it is. Alright. Come up in the corner here. Yeah, I think the unevenness of the texture that I've already gone in on here is making where this isn't coming out like a very clean print. Okay, I don't know if I want anything back behind her head. I'm going to put that like that. So this is just where you just kind of have to play around with it and figure out what you're going to do. So now I don't know where else I want to do stamping. Alright, that was just me putting some extra stuff in there. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I have not been in a crafty mood lately, so I haven't been doing anything for probably over a week now. I'm just now getting back to this canvas that's been sitting on my desk this whole time. And I've changed my mind about using these little wings right here. So yeah, all those wings I spent that time making. Decided I'm not going to use it after all. I found an applique one that I like much better, so I have set that back here. You can see the full butterfly right there. I don't know what it is about me wanting to put wings behind every doll I make, but I like the look. So that's what I'm going to do. And I am going to collage this little hand on here and a resin bird, which I'm going to color. I just don't know what color yet. What else did I do since I cut off? Oh yeah, and then I cut out with the Tim Holtz bird branch die. I think that's the name of it. This is just product packaging. It's really thick, super thick chipboard. And I just used it, and I'm going to paint this as well to kind of come on here like that, going off the canvas. And then I have this little bird's nest, and I'm more than likely going to wind up maybe painting this bird, and gonna have the nest sitting in the branch like that. And yeah, and I'm taking some ink of gold right now just to bring in some more of that green. I'm gonna come over here and hit the doily part that I had stenciled with the modeling paste, because you can't even hardly see that. And of course I'm going off the doily there, so that's not cool. But that's what I'm doing right now, and I'll be back when I have more of this together. Alright, so now I've just got a bunch of flowers and sprays out, and I'm kind of just going to figure out how I'm going to configure all this. But before I go any further, I do want to frame this out, because I still have that. Even though it's not the deep edge canvas, there is still that white showing there, and I don't want that to show. So I'm taking the walnut stain distress paint. Oh shoot, I don't want to do that, and I'm already messing up. That did not come out the way I thought it was going to. Okay, let's try this again. And I'm just going to go around the edge like so, just to finish that off, let it dry, and then I'm going to start assembling these pieces, and I'll be back. Okay, so this was the direction I decided to take the canvas. Not how I originally intended it, but hey, you go with it. So I went with greens and yellows on this, and I decided to also back my flower clusters here at each corner with the Tim Holtz Frameworks die. This is the honeycomb one, just to add a little bit more, you know, dimension, texture to the canvas. And then I set out my flower clusters, and I have a little bit of everything in here. This is a oh, you can't even see. Hello. This is a Jolie's fabric flower, and I decided to stick my little bird's nest in there. These are flowers right here. These little ones right here from Elizabeth Beauty Bomb Bomb store. I'm gonna have to order some more of those. I love those. And the rest are all I Am Roses. So I just went, you know how we just do our little flower cluster thing. And then what I did is I took some of the sprays that I got from Michael's. These are like their spring sprays that they had on, you know, 60% off or whatever. And I just tore one all apart. And so I used some of those pieces here and just kind of zigzagged it and threw it in there. Just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I did that the same up here to this flower cluster. And the only thing I did different that I don't think I covered was I did add a little bit of this different trim on top of the one that I had already sewn into my little paper doll dress. And I did do a little belt for her as well. And I just used that Hobby Lobby teardrop trim to do that. And then on my wings, I did and I did spray with Lindy Stamp Gang too. I decided I didn't want to have it be just all ivory. Wanted some color on it. So I did use that. And then I did trim this out as well with some flat back pearls. And I cut out my quote and backed it with some lace trim. And I think that's pretty much it. That's all done. So I'm just glad to be done with this thing because it's been sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks now and just haven't been feeling the crafty mojo. So I come in here and I'll just look at it and then just walk right back out. So I'm going to try to get some art journaling done. Carrie, if you're watching this, I hope to have your journal out the first of the week on Monday or Tuesday. And I'm probably going to use the same quote. I realized after I had cut this quote out that I was going to use it for a journal page, not for this canvas. And I had it all stuck down and I'm like, oh wait, I wasn't going to use it on this? What the heck? So anyway, I just went with it. Alright you guys, I am out of here, so I'll see you later.